Hi everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Khushbu Ankit Gandhi and I make videos related to makeup, skincare, hair care and everything related. As a makeup blogger, I have always emphasized the need of prepping your skin well before you actually start your makeup. And primer application is the most important step that you have to do before you start applying the base. I am always on the lookout for good primers because even though my skin might look that it's clear, but there are a lot of issues with it. Number one, I have a lot of pores on this area because this T-zone is pretty oily. Rest of my skin is extremely dry, especially this portion. This is so dry that I have faced foundation flaking more number of times than I would like to confess. And I also have cluster congestion, like over here and over here. There's a lot of sebum that gets collected underneath the skin and therefore, it forms cluster congestion. So I do have a problematic skin and it is very difficult to find that one primer which can, work on a skin like this, wherein every area has a different concern. So as I said, I have been on a lookout for a good primer for a really long time, and finally my search is over with this Say No Pore Mattifying Gel Primer from Praush, which we all formerly knew as Plu. So this is a mattifying and a blurring gel primer. So the claim over here is that it's going to blur out all the areas where you have pores and imperfections, and because it's a mattifying primer, it's definitely going to control the sweat and the oil, which will make it a perfect pre-base ingredient, the perfect primer that you need before you put on your makeup. So in this video, our agenda is to try this product and to find out how is this helping your makeup application to be more smooth and to be more long lasting. So without any further ado, let's get started. I definitely want to discuss the packaging first because it is so on point. Like, number one, the color of pink that they have used is amazing. Then the whole ombre thing that is happening over here is very nice. I mean, you can look at all the sides of this carton and you will see that it is so clean, like nothing is overwhelming. It is not overdone from anywhere. I mean, I just love the clean and the elegant packing that they have provided here. This is how it looks from the inside. Again, a beautiful shade of pink, the whole gradation going over here, the quality that they have used, like the packaging is very high-endy, I would say, and it is like it has a tube packing. So yeah. Now, one thing that I have to say is that I just love the minimal, chic and high-endy packaging. So yeah, well done for the packaging. The texture of the primer is of utmost importance because it is a texture that's going to get transferred on your face. So, it has to be perfect so that the makeup application can be really good. So I want to show you the texture over here. Now, this is a gel-based primer and you really don't need a lot of amount. So this is the primer and now we'll just spread it. It actually feels very balmy. The texture is very smooth. I mean, you can see that spreading it is so easy in spite of the fact that my hand was really dry. Like, I forgot to put a hand cream today, so it was literally cracking dry. But just after the application, it looks so smooth. And yeah, I want to show you a close comparison of these two hands, one with the primer and one without the primer. I mean, the texture difference is so much that it has become evident on the camera also. So yeah, the texture, jis pe wo log, I'm sure itni research kari hogi, they have literally nailed it. And I have to confess it at this point that I am an ardent fan of their Silk Blur primer. I think I have used easily 2-3 packings of it. I also have a YouTube video on that. I'm like a huge fan of it. So now when they've come up with their second primer, I was definitely over the top excited to try it. So excuse me in advance if you see me very excited in this video. Okay, now enough of talking. Let's move on to the application. So I'm going to take the Praush primer and I will be applying it on this side of the face, right? And I also want to highlight one thing, that my skin is porous and now the weather is changing. It's becoming hot and humid. So you can see this shine on my face, right? It is because of the oil released by my skin. So what I'm going to do is I'll be applying primer on this side of the face and we'll figure out ki the mattifying aspect, how strongly it works. So okay, we are applying primer on one side of the face. Okay, now I'll just make a layer of it. It's not a moisturizer, it's not a cream कि आपको इसको मसाज कर करके absorb कराना है. It's a primer and you have to create like a layer of it. So I can immediately feel the change in texture. I mean, this area has become so smooth. Okay, so we are done with the application, and I want you to notice one thing कि यहाँ पर there was a lot of shine. I just showed it to you, and now it's matte. If you compare it to this side where I've not applied anything, you can still see a lot of shine. Matte, oily, matte, oily. So this primer is great for humid weathers, hot weathers, and people who sweat a lot or या जिनकी porous skin है. It's amazing. Now to test it further, what I'm going to do is I'll be doing a full face of makeup, and then in the end we'll see that how this side is looking different from this side. So let me quickly do my makeup. So for my makeup, I'll be first of all putting on my base, for which I'm using the Praush PO3 stippling brush, which is the best stippling brush that I own. The bristles are so soft that it doesn't leave any marks behind, and the size is really convenient, so you can cover your base really fast. For my eye makeup, I'm going with a basic brown smoky eye. I'm using the Praush P22 big blending brush. So when I want a quick makeup look, I take bigger brushes, softer brushes, so that the hassle is really less. Then just for the black effect that I want to give, the smoky effect, I'll be using the Praush P19 brush, which is a perfect dome shaped brush for under eye smudging and over the waterline smudging. It's just really beautiful. For my eyebrows, I'm using my all-time favorite Praush P15. I mean, if you watch my YouTube videos, you will know what I'm talking about. This is like my most favorite brush when it comes to the eyebrow grooming part. For my blush application, I always use this PO1 brush. I mean, the size, it gives me that sun-kissed look that I always want. On my lips, I'm applying this beautiful Chick Flicks shade from the Praush Plush Matte Lipsticks. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful color and just instantly brightens up my face. And with that, I'm done with my makeup. Okay, so I'm back. I just wanted to do a little bit of makeup to just test this primer more and get in the groove. And yes, if you think कि ये little bit होता है, guys, I'm a makeup blogger. This is little bit for me. But yeah, there is this one thing that I want to discuss at this point. Look at this side. So this is the side with the primer, and you can see how matte and how smooth this side is looking vis-a-vis if you compare it to this side. I was shocked to see this amount of shine over here in spite of my foundation being a mattifying foundation. Even when I look straight on the camera, this side is so matte and smooth, and this side is like this shine. It's bothering me a lot. Another thing that happens with me is that if my skin is not well prepped, then on this portion, my laugh line, it starts cracking. Na foundation flake hone lagti hai, because already this is a thinner skin for everyone, and for me this is the driest portion of my face, so it's a double problem for me. So I want to show you a comparison here also, that if you look at this side, it's all intact. I don't see any kind of flaking whatsoever. But if you observe this side, I have already started seeing the cracking and the settling of foundation over here. So when I say that a good primer is important, I legit mean it. And trust me guys, this Praush Say No Pore primer is amazing. Matlab, the results are in front of my and your eyes, and they are nothing short of stunning. Now the biggest USP of a primer is that it makes your makeup long lasting. So I am going to do an 8-hour wear test to test this primer. So yeah, the time right now is 2:07 p.m. है ना, दिन का 2 बजा है technically. So after this in my schedule I have 2 more YouTube videos to shoot, so it's going to be a very hectic day. Then because I have some people coming over for dinner, so I also have some kitchen work. So everything I'm going to do with this full face of makeup, because I want to try this primer for you all. So yeah, let's start with the wear test. After a quick lunch break, I'm just touching up my hair again because I cannot touch up my makeup today. So I'm just refreshing my hair. Then I got back to my work and I worked till 5 o'clock. This was the timetable that I set. Mostly I was doing lipstick reviews, and after I finished one of my video, I went to my kitchen because I had some really important marination work to do. And you can see me over here in my full glam avatar doing the kitchen work. Everybody in my house was laughing, but yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. Okay, so right now the time on my clock is 6:51. तो मुझे approximately 4-5 hours हो गए इसको लगाए हुए, and I just had some work in the kitchen. मतलब वो बहुत urgent था और मुझे करना ही करना था with all the makeup and everything. So what I'm noticing is कि ये वाला जो portion है ये उतना ही matte है. Of course the lipstick color is changed because I am shooting a lipstick swatch video. तो lipstick मैंने change करा है. So you can see कि ये वाला mostly, I mean close to 100% वैसा ही है जैसा हमने छोड़ा था. But on this side I definitely see an increase in sweat. On this side I don't know if it's visible on the camera or not, but I definitely see a little bit of dullness, in the sense, you know, when the makeup starts wearing off, I definitely feel कि इसको थोड़ा सा freshen up करने की ज़रूरत है. But on this side I am totally satisfied. Then after my day got over work-wise, I took a massive tea break. I am a total chai lover. So here you can see me making my tea and having a good gupshup session with my mother-in-law. We are two talkative people. Okay guys, so after almost completing my 3 videos and in between kitchen का काफ़ी सारा काम wind up करके, I am finally on a tea break. And right now the time on my clock is 8:10 p.m. So we are very close to the deadline, and like on the camera only you can see कि जो यहाँ का makeup है, it is still so much there. Like if you compare the blush on this side and on this side, there's a lot of difference, and I don't know if it's visible on the phone camera, but मुझे ना इस तरफ पे like मेरी चाय गिर जाएगी. Hang on a second. On this side I've started noticing वो जो foundation settle होना शुरू हो जाती है, और ये तो problem आ ही रहा था. So yeah, that's the thing. अब मुझे 2 घंटे और काटने हैं, and then I'll show you the final like result of wear test. Welcome back guys. So right now the time is 10 o'clock. So we have successfully completed the wear test. It was definitely challenging. I mean, given the day that I had, it was definitely challenging. You know, my guests are on the way, इसलिए मैंने change सब कर लिया because I literally have no margin left. But yeah, I just wanted to shoot this last leg of the video in which I wanted to show you कि जो 8 घंटे के बाद मेरे मेकअप की कंडीशन है वो क्या है. So first of all we'll check this side. Okay, so this is the side जहाँ पर primer नहीं लगा था, and look at the whole moisture thing. It has definitely, you know, expanded to the to full face. ये जो cracking है ये बढ़ गई है, ये बहुत evident हो गई है. A very prominent thing is कि यहाँ पे आप blush देखो और आप यहाँ पे blush देखो. मतलब यहाँ वाला तो it's totally gone, evaporated. यहाँ पर अभी भी काफ़ी blush है, and overall भी अगर आप मेरा base भी check करोगे ना, so the finishing that is left over here and the finishing that is left over here, huge difference. So honestly I was any which ways very impressed by this Say No Pore primer, but after the wear test I can clearly say that this is a must have. Like, I'll not even say that I highly advise it, I'll say that you should have it, because all of us have pores, all of us have texture, and all of us have sweat glands working overtime. So yeah, this according to me is a must have in your vanity. And trust me guys, this product is going to make your makeup journey so smooth, you're going to love it. So this was all from my side today for today's particular video. I really hope you had fun watching this video, and whatever your feedback is, do write it in the comment section below. I'll see you again with a new video. Until then, bye bye, take care, and lots of love.